If you want to get ahead of the competition, this is the perfect video for you. Arc Raiders just dropped. It's an amazing game and there's a lot of new stuff to take in. So here are some quick 5 tips on how to get started and get better at the game. Point number 1 is your skill tree. Something that is very overwhelming in this game is this skill tree. There's a lot of things to consider. So I'll make it really simple. The first 3 points you get, which are very easy to come by, you want to spend them on the in-round crafting. I'll show you a video, but there's many times where this has saved my life, just being able to craft things in raid. This allows you to kind of maximize your potential earnings in a raid, especially in Spetsna. When you go to buy certain medical gear, it's super expensive to buy them straight up with coins. So what you really want to do is you want to be crafting them, and I'll touch upon this in a later topic in my workbenches. But once you're able to craft in raid, when you really need them, when you really need a shield recharge, just left alone, you can actually kind of craft them in raid. And once you've kind of focused on that, what I recommend is going into mobility and kind of focusing on these 2 skill trees right here. For me, stamina is also very important. But first, again, you want to get the in-round crafting and then focus on the marathon runner, then the youthful lungs. Tip number 2 is gear fear. Now, this is something that I don't think will be as prevalent as this game compared to something like Escape from Tarkov, another extraction shooter. Gear fear is something that plagues a lot of new beginners in the extraction shooter genre. For those who don't know what gear fear is the idea that you're kind of scared to bring good gear in with you, whether these be good guns, good shields, etc. So in this case, if you have, for example, a good gun like an anvil, you might just have it in your inventory, just sitting there, not using it because you're worried that when you go into raid and you fully upgrade it that you're going to lose it. But what I'm telling you now is that's something you have to get rid of, is this gear fear. Once you get rid of your gear fear, you'll be able to bring these better guns out, you'll be able to fight PvP better. If you're not looking for PvP, even fighting against the Ark. And something that's so beautiful about this game is the fact that things are so easy to upgrade and craft. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to gather the resources to upgrade and craft. There's even the ability to go in and do free loot drops. So I really recommend just not having that gear fear. Gear is something that's so easy to come by. It's something that will haunt you and make you regress as a new player if you have it. And before I move on to my next point, if you're enjoying the video so far, why don't you consider dropping a subscription? And if there's anything you yourself are personally struggling with, how about you go down in the comments below and let me know. The workshops, and I cannot state this enough, are so important in this game. You go to the traders and things you would buy for 1.5k or so, you could easily craft them with a few pieces of rubber, maybe some plastic, some chemicals, etc. You really need to focus on upgrading your workshops. Kind of, the game has a beautiful feature where you can track the resources you need. But yeah, workshops are king in this game. Once you have your workshop fully done, then it kind of helps you get rid of what I spoke about previously, gear fear and those issues, and being able to craft stuff in raid, because it kind of gives you a good leverage point. For example, ammo. You don't have to spend maybe 10k on ammo or shield recharges. Just craft them in your workshop. So that's point number 3. That's tip number 3. Be smart with the fights that you take. You do not have to take every fight. All you have to do is just be smart. I'm showing an example now on screen where me and Locke, we won a fight easily because we just waited for the opportune moment to be able to attack. If you're running headlong in, which is an issue that I have sometimes, but yeah, sometimes you need to pick the right times, play it slowly, and play it with your team if you have your team. Or if you're solo, just again, you want to pick your moments carefully, because especially if you're a duo, then it's tough. What I'll tell you right now is do not be greedy on this game. Sometimes the small wins are better than the really big wins. So don't be greedy and don't take on every fight. Sometimes it's best to let raiders go past you, or not shoot at a raider just because they're there. It's not always advantageous to take on every fight. There's scenarios where you want to be able to kind of let their raider go about their way and move on. And the last point I wanted to speak about is the raider deck. Now, this is something that not many people would have looked at, and I know a lot of people might see it and be like, oh, I already know this thing, but this is something, again, for beginners. If you go up here and click the cred and go to raider deck, you get to see that there's a kind of a battle pass. I believe that the battle pass is free, the first one. And so there's a lot of actually good things you can get here in this battle pass for a few creds that I've bought already, which will be vital in kind of maybe if you're stuck with certain things or need better loadouts. It's just really cool to be able to just spend your creds on something that is worthwhile. For example, these boxes all here, the Arc Hunter pack, they give you a tactical MK2, which is so good. and they give you some free skins as well if you need cosmetics, some free raider coins, basically, all for just doing some small tasks in raid, which normally you just do regardless when you go into a raid and do certain things. And what's so beautiful and amazing about this game is that if you're with friends and they complete some of them, they also stack for yours. So, for example, if one of my friends searched an art choreo and I didn't do it, because we're in the same party, it counts and we both get the 10 cred. Okay, so that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, as I mentioned, if you want to see more Arc Raiders content, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below.